Welcome to the Haunted Quill.
The story begins in Yharnam, shrouded in a thick mist that wraps around its cobblestone streets. The tolling of distant bells signals the night of the hunt, a ritual that strikes fear into the hearts of the townsfolk. Élodie, a young scavenger, steps into the eerie silence of the city. Her lantern, ancient and weathered, glows faintly, casting drafts of its light higher above the townsfolk. She feels the oppressive weight of Yharnam's curse, but curiosity drives her forward. Élodie is no ordinary scavenger. Orphaned at a young age, she was raised in the shadows of Yharnam, surviving by exploring the city's forgotten corners. Her life has been one of quiet observation and evasion, learning to move unseen in a city teeming with danger. She knows the tales of hunters and beasts, of blood and the Great Ones, but she has always avoided direct involvement in the hunt. Tonight, however, she is drawn by rumors of a hidden chapel in the cathedral ward, said to hold secrets that could change the course of Yharnam's fate. The lantern Élodie carries is more than a tool. It is a relic passed down through generations. Its light is unlike that of an ordinary flame, pale, flickering, and imbued with a strange, otherworldly quality. Legends say the lantern can guide its bearer to truths obscured by shadow. Élodie has always felt a connection to it, as though it were alive, responding to her thoughts and emotions. She believes it will lead her to the hidden chapel and the answers she seeks. As Élodie moves through the streets, the signs of the hunt are everywhere. Doors are bolted shut, windows covered with heavy curtains. Pools of blood glisten in the lantern's light, and claw marks mar the walls. Abandoned carriages lie overturned, their contents scattered and ruined. The city feels alive, as though it is watching her every move. She presses on, her footsteps muffled by the mist. Élodie encounters her first obstacle in the form of a grotesque, wolf-like beast. Its fur is matted with blood, its glowing eyes fixed on her with predatory intent. She freezes, clutching the lantern tightly. To her astonishment, the creature hesitates, seemingly repelled by the lantern's light. She takes the opportunity to retreat into the shadows, her heart pounding in her chest. She arrives at the gates of the cathedral ward, towering and ornate, but weathered by time. The lantern's light pulses faintly, as though urging her forward. With a great effort, she pushes the gates open, the sound reverberating through the misty air like a warning. Beyond the gates lies a scene of desolation. Grand archways rise toward the sky, but the ground is littered with debris and dried blood. Statues of holy figures stand as silent witnesses, their faces twisted in expressions of anguish. Following the lantern's guidance, Élodie descends a spiral staircase hidden within the cathedral ward. The air grows colder, and the light from the moon above barely penetrates the darkness. The silence is broken only by the sound of her footsteps and the occasional drip of water. The staircase leads to a crypt, its walls adorned with strange symbols and carvings that seem to writhe and shift in the lantern's glow. At the center of the crypt, Élodie finds an altar unlike any she has seen before. It is carved from black stone and adorned with symbols that defy comprehension. The lantern's light grows brighter, illuminating an inscription that she cannot read, yet somehow understands. The words seem to speak directly to her mind. The truth lies beyond blood and shadow. As she examines the altar, she triggers a hidden mechanism. A section of the wall slides open, revealing a narrow passageway. The air within is heavy with the scent of decay and something older, darker. Élodie hesitates, but the lantern's light flickers insistently, urging her to step inside. The passageway leads to a hidden chamber, bathed in an otherworldly glow. At its center stands a massive chalice filled with a liquid that shimmers like molten silver. Surrounding the chalice are grotesque statues of half-human, half-beast figures, frozen in poses of agony and reverence. Élodie approaches the chalice cautiously, her heart racing. The moment she touches the chalice, her mind is flooded with visions. She sees the Great Ones, monstrous yet majestic beings that exist beyond human comprehension. She sees hunters consumed by the blood they sought to master, their bodies twisted into monstrous forms. She understands that the blood, revered as a cure, is in fact a curse bestowed by the Great Ones to manipulate humanity. The visions reveal that the chapel she sought is not a place of salvation, but a prison of forbidden knowledge. The Great One's influence over Yharnam is deeper and more insidious than she ever imagined. Élodie feels the weight of this revelation, understanding that her life has been irrevocably changed. When the visions fade, Élodie finds herself back in the chamber. The liquid in the chalice now swirls with a faint crimson hue, and she realizes she has been marked by it. Though she does not yet understand the implications, she knows the chalice has awakened something within her. As she leaves the hidden chamber, the city itself seems to shift around her. The streets feel narrower, the mist thicker, and the growls of beasts closer. The lantern's light flickers weakly, as though struggling to sustain itself. Élodie encounters a group of hunters on her way back to her hideout. They look at her with suspicion, sensing the change in her. Though they do not attack, their wary gazes remind her that she is no longer just a scavenger. She has become part of Yharnam's cursed story. Back in her hideout, Élodie contemplates the knowledge she has gained and the mark she now bears. The lantern's light fades completely, leaving her in darkness. Yet, she feels a strange sense of determination, knowing that her journey is far from over. The story ends with Élodie staring out at the city, her mind racing with questions and her heart steeled for the challenges ahead. She vows to uncover the truth of Yharnam, no matter the cost. Élodie spends the next hours restlessly poring over the fragmented knowledge she has accumulated about Yharnam, the Great Ones, and the blood. Her mind reels with the haunting visions she witnessed, the eldritch whispers still echoing faintly in her ears. Despite her fear, she feels a deep compulsion to return to the cathedral ward, to uncover more about the chalice and the crypt beneath it. The mark left by the chalice begins to affect her. She notices her senses sharpening, her hearing more acute, her vision clearer, even in the dimmest light. Yet, along with these newfound abilities comes a creeping unease, as if something ancient and predatory stirs within her. Half the room sings to hear as someone moves around the room. Bitter, flaming hate. In the following nights, Élodie discovers that the lantern no longer provides the same steady light it once did. Instead, it flickers unpredictably, responding to unseen forces. When she holds it, faint whispers seem to emanate from it, unintelligible but undeniably real. Her encounters with beasts become more frequent, but she begins to notice a strange phenomenon. Some creatures hesitate to attack her, sniffing the air around her as though recognizing something familiar. Others, however, are drawn to her with a ferocity she has never seen before, forcing her to rely on her wits and the lantern to survive. Her usual efficiency has bad. Élodie starts hearing tales of a hunter known only as the Keeper, a figure said to roam the cathedral ward, guarding its darkest secrets. The Keeper is rumored to be neither fully human nor beast, an entity bound to the Great Ones. Élodie suspects the Keeper may know more about the chalice and its purpose. Determined to confront the Keeper, Élodie prepares herself for the journey back to the cathedral ward. She scavenges supplies from abandoned homes, finding old hunter tools and alchemical concoctions that might give her an edge. Her second journey through Yharnam is even more perilous. The mist has thickened, and the city seems more hostile. She encounters signs of recent struggles, broken weapons, fresh bloodstains, and the guttural cries of wounded hunters echoing in the distance. As she nears the cathedral ward, Élodie notices a change in the city's architecture. Walls seem to twist and bend unnaturally, as though the Great One's influence is warping reality itself. The lantern's light reacts strongly, pulsing like a heartbeat. Inside the cathedral ward, Élodie encounters the Keeper for the first time. The figure is shrouded in a tattered cloak, its features obscured, but its presence is undeniably imposing. The keeper speaks in a voice that seems to echo from the depths of her mind, warning her to turn back. Élodie refuses to retreat, demanding answers about the chalice and the crypt. The keeper does not respond, instead raising a jagged weapon and preparing to attack. A brutal fight ensues, with Élodie relying on the lantern's strange powers to evade and counter the keeper's relentless assault. During the battle, the lantern flares brightly, revealing the keeper's true form. A grotesque amalgamation of human and beast, its body writhing with unnatural energy. Élodie is horrified but resolute, using the distraction to strike a critical blow. The keeper collapses, its form dissolving into a pool of dark ichor. As it dies, it speaks cryptic words. "The blood calls to you, child of shadow. The hunt is eternal." Victorious but shaken, Élodie presses deeper into the cathedral ward, her lantern now glowing steadily, as if guiding her to her next destination. She discovers a library filled with ancient tomes and scrolls, many written in languages she cannot understand. Among the texts, she finds a journal belonging to a hunter who once sought the Great One's knowledge. The entries reveal a descent into madness, detailing rituals and experiments that ultimately led to the creation of the chalice. The journal also mentions a place called the Moonlit Lake, said to be a convergence point between the mortal realm and the domain of the Great Ones. Élodie feels an unexplainable pull toward this location, as though the chalice itself is urging her onward. Leaving the cathedral ward, Élodie ventures into the Forbidden Woods, a treacherous region filled with deadly traps and feral beasts. The lantern's light grows brighter as she approaches the outskirts of the woods, illuminating hidden paths and warning her of unseen dangers. Along the way, she encounters a survivor, a wounded hunter named Élodie. Though wary of her at first, Élodie agrees to accompany her after realizing they share a common goal, uncovering the truth behind Yharnam's curse, and so on. Together, they face harrowing challenges in the Forbidden Woods, including encounters with grotesque abominations and remnants of failed blood rituals. The bond between Élodie and Alaric deepens as they rely on each other for survival. At the heart of the woods, they discover a dilapidated chapel surrounded by an ancient graveyard. The lantern's light reveals symbols carved into the gravestones, matching those Élodie saw in the crypt beneath the cathedral ward. Inside the chapel, they find a shrine dedicated to the Great Ones. The air is thick with a palpable sense of dread, and Élodie feels the chalice's mark burn against her skin. The shrine contains a map etched into the stone floor, depicting a path to the Moonlit Lake. Alaric warns that venturing there is a death sentence, but Élodie is resolute, convinced that the answers she seeks lie at the lake. As they leave the chapel, they are ambushed by a pack of beasts unlike any they have encountered before. The battle is fierce, and Alaric is gravely wounded, while buying Élodie time to escape. With a heavy heart, Élodie continues alone, her determination tempered by guilt and grief over Alaric's sacrifice. The journey to the Moonlit Lake takes her through treacherous terrain, where reality itself seems to warp and shift. Time feels fluid, and she experiences flashes of memories that are not her own. At the lake's edge, Élodie encounters a massive, shimmering portal that pulses with an energy both beautiful and terrifying. The lantern's light grows blindingly bright, illuminating the way forward. Stepping through the portal, she finds herself in a surreal, dreamlike realm filled with towering structures and alien landscapes. The presence of the Great Ones is overwhelming, their forms glimpsed in the distance as shadows against a starry void. In this realm, Élodie confronts the Great One known as the Watcher, whose voice reverberates through her mind. The Watcher reveals the true purpose of the chalice. It is a vessel for transformation, a means of ascending beyond humanity. The Watcher offers Élodie a choice: embrace the chalice's power and become something more than human, or reject it and remain trapped in the endless cycle of the hunt.
Élodie wrestles with the decision, torn between her desire for knowledge and the fear of losing her humanity. In the end, she chooses to embrace the chalice, drinking its contents and accepting the transformation. Her body and mind are flooded with an overwhelming energy, and she feels herself ascending to a higher state of existence. The story concludes with Élodie returning to Yharnam, changed but still determined to use her newfound power to uncover the city's deepest secrets and break the curse of the hunt. Élodie stands at the edge of the city, gazing out at the blood-drenched streets, ready to face the horrors that lie ahead. The lantern, now dimmed, serves as a reminder of her journey and the sacrifices she has made.